Hello, welcome. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe it. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to take the poem Tonight I Can Write the Saddest Lines, written by Pablo Neruda. The theme of this poem is very common. It's a common experience of young people. The people, those who think that they love, but I think that it is more infatuation than a love. It's not love, it is an attraction, we can call the attraction towards opposite sex. So when we love someone, we involve too much, and then that involvement might make us suffer when we lose the person. When a person dies, the pain is there for some times, but when the person you love goes to another person, finds love somewhere else, then definitely you will have problems. The pain, the agony of losing is very great. The loneliness what you feel that time is really hurting you. You long for the person, but he or she is not there with you. The agony deepens. You become lonely and suffer in silence. This is what has happened to the person. In this poem, maybe it is Neruda himself, we do not know, or maybe it is his imagination, we don't know. Anyway, let me take that it is his own experience and explain you every line. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. Here he doesn't say that he wants to write or he is writing. He says that he can write. That means so far he has been waiting. What was he waiting for? This shows that he has been keeping the agony in his heart and it grew a lot. Now he is in the verge of collapse. Now he is in the verge of breakdown. If he doesn't pour his emotions out, something would go wrong. But that's the reason he says it is a ripe time for him to pour out his emotions in the form of words, so that he will be relieved of the agony. That's why he says, I can write. That means he is mentally prepared now. Right, for example, the night is shattered and the blue stars shiver in the distance. That is, whenever somebody writes some poem, normally we write on the nature. Nature is our first choice. Like that he says, for example, he says, that means I can write like this. A commonplace poems. But here he says, the night is shattered. Actually, night is not shattered. The night inside him is shattered. That means he is a shattered man. And the blue stars shiver in the distance. Stars never shiver. The shivering is there inside him. The void, the night is his own self. His inner self is void. That means it is totally blank because he has lost his beloved. The night wind revolves in the sky. See how he says. The wind blows and it sings, he says. Sings here a melancholy song or maybe a threnody. So a pathetic song comes from the wind which is revolving. So that means whatever is there inside him, he finds them outside. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. Again it is repeated. We see that it is repeated again and again. This shows how desperate he is to pen down some lines so that he would get some solace to his soul. I loved her and sometimes she loved me too. This is very important line here. Normally in love there is a blame game. When the love is lost or when there is a broken love, that time the blame goes like this: I loved with full intensity or full with involvement, but the other person did not love me as much as I loved him or her. This is the blame game. That means it's not a devoted love, definitely. What he perceives from her behavior. Through the nights like this one, I held her in my arms. And now he is going back. He is recollecting the beautiful moments what he had with her. So he says, the night like this when they used to meet, so he used to hug her. I kissed her again and again under the endless sky, he says. Sky is definitely endless. But here it means the kissing was so very intense and it was so long. So it looked like an immense sky. She loved me sometimes. See how he says. She loved me sometimes. I loved her too. How could one not have loved her great still eyes? So she had a beautiful eyes, still eyes. So this man loved and liked those eyes. So they were so beautiful that anyone who sees would definitely love them. Then how could that anyone simply ignore those beautiful eyes? Tonight I can write the saddest lines. Again it is repeated. To think that I do not have her, I feel that I have lost her. So one is thinking that he doesn't have her now. So that makes him feel that he has lost her. To hear the immense night, still more immense without her. The night is immense. That means it's a long, long night. Immense night. And without her, it's some more. And the verse falls to the soul like dew to the pasture. And these lines are very beautiful. And the verse falls on the soul. Verse means whatever the lines he is writing. Those, that is his feelings coming out in the form of words. They fall to the soul like dew to the pasture. Dew falling on a grass. So beautiful, and we don't see it at all. It's a very smooth affair and so beautiful it is. What does it matter that my love couldn't keep her? So what was the matter, he is asking himself. Though he loved her passionately, he wonders why his love couldn't keep her with him. The night is shattered and she is not with me. Again repeated. This is all. In the distance, someone is singing in the distance. My soul is not satisfied that it has lost her. So he feels that somebody is singing at a distance. Maybe it is her voice he is hearing. And he says that his soul is not satisfied. That means his inner self has not come to terms. It is not satisfied that it has lost. So he is now coming to terms with this. My side searches for her as though to go to her. See the contradiction here. This man wants to write the poem today in order to forget her. He doesn't want her anymore in his memory. But here he says that he is searching for her. His sight, that means his eyes, are desperate. He wants to see her. My heart looks for her. That is within. He longs for her within. And she is not with me. And he realizes that she is not with him. But longing is there. He is desperate to get her back. This is a contradiction. The same night whitening the same trees. That is what is going on outside in the nature. That is, he is whitening means covered with the snow. So same tree and same snowfall happening again and again. There is no change. There is no difference. But we of that time, that means as a lovers, as a passionate lovers, once upon a time, that are not same. That is, they are no longer same. So outside world is there as it is, according to him, and the inner world has shattered. I no longer love her. That's certain. This also is very much contradictory. This man is still in love with her. There is no doubt at all. He is unable to forget her. But he tries to come to terms with it. He wants to get away from those memories. But it is not that easy for him. So many contradictions you find here. I no longer love her. That's certain, he says. This is totally false. He is deceiving himself here. But how I loved her, my voice tried to find the wind. So his voice is now searching for that wind which touches her hearing. Hearing means here, her ears. So he wants to send his message through the wind to her ears. That means he wants that she should hear him. Another's. There is an apostrophe, yes. Another's. What is that another? She will be another's. Here it is revealed that she is not dead. She has gone to someone else. She has found some new lover. So this is much more painful than any other things. I told you in the beginning, if somebody dies, the pain is for some times and you come to terms with it. Then you forget after some times. But when a person is alive, and that too in someone's arms, or who loves somebody else, leaving you behind, this is really painful. Like my kisses before, that means those kisses he remembers. Like that is also lost. Her voice, her bright body, her infinite eyes. So these all the things, his kisses, her voice, her bright body, he says. That means it shows that she was very beautiful woman. Here I remember W.B. Yeats, who loved Maud Gonne, a very beautiful woman. I no longer love her, that's certain. Again he says, see how this repetition is for thrust, you know it. To give emphasis on certain things, we repeat the things. Though he repeats this line, I no longer love her, is again falsehood. Because if that is the case, then he wouldn't have written this verse at all. These words are coming out because of the agony. agony of departed love. I no longer love her, that's certain, but maybe I love her. Here itself there is a contradiction. In the same line, we see that there is a contradiction. He says that, and that too, he uses the word certain. Certainly, he doesn't love, but at the same time, very next moment, he says, but maybe I love her. So fickle mind. This happens because the person doesn't know what he is telling. And this again happens because of the agony. Agony makes a person senseless. He is not in his senses, definitely. That's why lot many things are going on in his mind now. His mind is full of chaos. That's why he says, I don't love her, and again he says he loves her. Love is so short, forgetting is so long. What a beautiful sentence it is. He says, love is very short, because when we are in love, we are so happy. That's why the period of love seems to be very, very less, because we are happy. But when we are very sad, the period seems to be very long. That's why he says, forgetting is long, because it pains. This happens because of our perception. When we are happy, we feel that the time is very short. But when we are in agony, when we are in pain, though it is very less period, it seems to be so long. That's the meaning of this. Because through nights like this, when I held her in my arms, my soul is not satisfied that it has lost her. Again, everything is repeated. Already it has been explained to you. Though this be the last pain, now he again says it's a last pain. He wants to make it a final. But that is definitely not possible. That she makes me suffer. Actually, here she is not making him suffer. It is he himself is suffering. The suffering is totally his own. And these, the last verses that I write for her. Now he claims that whatever he is going to write today, these verses, these lines, they are last. And that he says that henceforth he is going to totally forget her and remove her from his mind and soul. But definitely I am telling that is not possible. Because if that is the case, by this time he would have forgotten her. These lines he is writing because he wants to outpour the agony. Because he is all alone now. He is feeling so lonely. That loneliness gives him pain. Losing a love is like this. It's a very good lesson for all of you. But nature is such, we are sometimes caught in the nature's hand. It is not so easy to escape infatuation or love, also you can call it as a love. But from some lines here, we can come to know that certainly it was not a passionate love or devoted love. Because in some lines he says that maybe he loved her, or maybe she loved him, or he uses the word sometimes. Sometimes loving means there is a gap. How could that be possible? That someone loves for sometimes. Can we call it as a love then? Certainly not. It's not a love. It's infatuation. Now, what are the highlights of this poem? One, that there is a broken love. Second, that it was the love on and off. and it was based on infatuation, not real love. And the woman went to somebody else, and this poem appeals most of us because we identify ourselves with a man who's now writing this. Most of us go through such situations. That's why we identify ourselves with the central character. And that is why such poems appeal to us. We like these, we like those things who are akin to our own experiences. Okay, I'll make another video for explanation in Kannada, and you can have the summary in my blog post.